Let's get back to the forecast. Brittany is keeping you weather alert, tracking Chantal's impact on the Carolinas. Brittany.
Yeah, Miles, I think the biggest thing I want to reiterate to folks, I know that after a big storm like last year with Helene, many folks have weather anxiety, hurricane anxiety, maybe even tropical storm anxiety. But this is nothing like that storm, even though we hope there's no more storms that impact the Carolinas all year. This is certainly not that one. And so we are not going to see any of those same risks, any of those same threats. So I just want to kind of reiterate that to many who might be watching at home concerned about this storm. It is not that. It is a weak tropical system, very lopsided tropical system. In fact, most of its heavy rain you can see on the eastern side. Right now you can see this little icon is trying to show the center of circulation, but it's actually more so right here. It's actually closer to really parallel with Myrtle Beach. And so the reason why I bring that up is it's important when it comes to the area of highest impact, right? So when this storm makes landfall, likely very early tomorrow morning, still expected to be near Myrtle Beach. This has shifted a little bit further east, which again means lesser impacts for the Carolinas as it kind of starts to move inland. Anyone on the eastern side of the storm, so Myrtle Beach up toward Little River, North Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, New Bern, eventually the Outer Banks of North Carolina, eventually into parts of Jacksonville, North Carolina. They're all going to be on the heaviest side of the rain. So that's one of the reasons why when you look at rainfall totals and you kind of see that pocket of where the heaviest rain sets up, it is mainly east of Charlotte, but it's not necessarily right along the immediate coast. It's kind of within that middle ground here because of where the heaviest rain sets up. So when you see a center anywhere between this red track, we are on what's called the west side or the left side of the storm. The reason why this is good is because we don't see the heaviest rain, and we wouldn't anyway, truthfully, with the tropical system being so lopsided, but we don't see the highest winds. Our wind gusts are going to max out at about 25 miles an hour, which is probably lower than a normal day with a cold front coming in. And on top of that, we don't see that right front quadrant impact, which is more so here, which could normally increase the risk of severe storms or tornadoes. So really, this is the best case scenario when it comes to any kind of tropical system moving inland across the Carolinas tomorrow. I mentioned this at 6 o'clock, but if you have early plans tomorrow to head to church, you have brunch plans, I would have a rain jacket, some kind of umbrella ready to go. Again, we will see pockets of heavy rain at times, what we call tropical downpours, which just means that there's so much moisture in the atmosphere that the rain is a little bit heavier than normal. But the main threat here, late morning, mid-afternoon. Then it's out of here. And honestly, it will feel like it never even happened because it moves out so quickly. Monday starts off nice and dry. In fact, as that low pressure system pulls away from us, we eventually bring in drier air once again. So Monday, Tuesday, even the first half of Wednesday stays very dry once the system is over. I showed this also at 6 o'clock. Of course, we've seen the latest model runs come in, so it's a little bit different. I want folks to remember that these numbers are guidance, not gospel. So it's an idea of where the heaviest rain sets up, not necessarily an idea of who gets the heaviest rain. So again, way east of I-77, well closer to Greensboro, Pinehurst area, but places near Anson County, Stanley County, Richmond, even eastern parts of Chesterfield, and even far eastern parts as well of Cabarrus into Rowan. We'll definitely want to keep an eye out for some of those pockets of heavier rain. Of course, the beaches, biggest impact. They've already seen this for about 24 to 36 hours, but rip current risk is elevated, staying high through at least Monday. And of course, dangerous beach conditions for beachgoers who are hanging out there today. So far, though, haven't seen any significant reports of impacts there when it comes to rip current issues or anything like that. So far, so good. We'll keep our fingers crossed that trend continues. Here's that 7-day forecast. Again, we're keeping folks weather alert just based on a big change tomorrow with the storms coming in. Biggest impacts, again, well east of Charlotte, well east even of our viewing area. But as we get closer to the middle part of the week, we're looking at a lot of heat and humidity returning. Temperatures back in the mid-90s. Feels like temperatures flirting with the triple digits.